One of the most crucial weeks in the college football season so far. Definitely did not disappoint in week 10. And now we're on to week 11, and this is the week 11 predictions. But since it's not joined together with NFL predictions, I'm going to do a recap since it was a huge week. And first of all, Oklahoma, what's going on, man? I know Baylor is not a bad team, but man, 5-4 in Venables' first season is not a good look, especially when Lincoln Riley had you at 8+ wins almost every single season. But you're still probably going to make a bowl game, but just bad to lose this game. I think this is back-to-back years losing to Baylor. But Baylor, credit to them, they're now bowl eligible. And we get to game 1 of 2, that huge SEC championship. Can't think of the word. Implications, there it is. As I'm finally right on my against Tennessee train, as they finally run into the defense that definitely halted their offense. They had no answer to Georgia's defense. Georgia's offense really only showed up for a half, and that's all they needed. Relatively easy win for Georgia here. Could see this again in the playoffs. It's only good for Tennessee. The other huge SEC game results, it's only good for them. They just need, they have Missouri. On Saturday, they should win out. It's all dependent maybe on TCU to lose for them to make it back. But if they don't make it in, they got to credit it to this bad offensive game. Yes, Georgia's defense is good, but their offense chose the wrong game to shut down. And I'm really going to skip over these two mid-major games. Good that UTSA is good again this year, and South Alabama, good that they're good. I got both those right. But I have nothing to say about these games. I didn't watch them. Just know who won. But Liberty is 7-1, a lone loss by, it was one score at Wake Forest. They're a good team again. Even when they lost Malik Willis, they are a good team. In Arkansas, this is the type of game that you just don't like seeing on your schedule. It's not like in Alabama where if we lose, it's okay. If we win, it's great. This is the game, like in basketball when Kentucky scheduled Ohio last year or Richmond the year before. A win does you no good, but a loss hurts you. And there is a definite chance you could lose it. And yeah, it bit all Arkansas here. They managed to get the touchdown, did not get the 2-point, lost this game. Honestly, I don't think it was even this close, honestly. I didn't technically watch it, but I did see the score, and Arkansas did try and rally, but it wasn't enough. As I'm going to see, when we get to the predictions part, who they got next, it's going to be rough. And I do have one thing to say about this game. I'm pretty sure one of Kentucky's former coaches, maybe the head coach of Troy, I don't know if I'm right on that or not. I hope I am. But they were down 17-0 and came back and won. So that's all I know. Good to them. And I am so happy that I was right with this game. And for 3 quarters pretty much of this game, it went exactly how I said it would have to be for LSU to win this game. An ugly game where Alabama doesn't get it going, but LSU takes advantage of it. I mean, it was 17-15, and then that third down conversion by Bryce Young that had probably NFL scouts, salivating with how good it was. He's done that many times this season. And it makes you think, Bama again, another ugly win like against Texas, like against A&M. But then LSU marched down the field, got a touchdown, left too much time, though. Alabama got a field goal to send us to overtime. Overtime, Bama scores first, touchdown. The point after, and everything's going through, they're going to win. Then first play of overtime, Jaden Daniels runs it in, just like he got a huge run on third down, and LSU's go-ahead drive in the fourth quarter. They did miss a block in the back, but just call it a make-up for that safety in week 2 against Texas. And then Brian Kelly rolls the dice, maybe in the back of his mind, from that blocked PAT against Florida State week 1, which I would have loved to be able to talk about that game. And this is a very similar score to that game, too. It may have been the exact same score at the time. I don't know, though. They go for 2, and they get it. Crazy ending. I even uploaded it as a short. So how crazy it was that LSU did it. The first home win over Alabama in like a decade. I mean, they did have that road win when they had the best team in the nation, but just good on them. They probably were there at Brian Kelly's neck with that fake accent he did when he got hired, to losing to Florida State week 1. But now it's looking like he was the right man for the job. They have a legitimate shot at the playoffs now with this win. And Bama's pretty much dead. They don't have any really key opponents left that could help them get there. And as long as LSU, I think they may have 2 SEC games left. If they win one more, they do have the tiebreaker with Bama. They make the championship game against, more than likely, Georgia. And that'll give them a very good chance. Then we get to the most consistent team, Kansas State. They beat Oklahoma State's pants off, beat them like 48-0. And now this week, they just lose to Texas, and 2 very inconsistent teams going head-to-head. Something had to give, and Texas won. Are they back? No, but hey, it's an improvement. More wins than last year already. Do have Kansas still to beat. And I've never been happier to be wrong about this game. Clemson got smacked. Now, I don't think Notre Dame is still very good, but they are a lot better than I thought they were winning this game. And Clemson you could see it everywhere. They should have lost at home to Syracuse, to Wake Forest. But they survived, and they did not survive in this one. They got destroyed, and that probably ends their playoff hopes without a lot of things going their way, because this was just bad. Maybe if Notre Dame had a better record, they'd have a chance, but no. With how Notre Dame, some of their losses to Stanford and Marshall, you lost to a team that lost to both of them. No, that was bad. And finally, credit to NC State's defense, and I don't know. I think the quarterback's name is Morris, the freshman quarterback who led them to this win. I did not think they could win this game with out their starting quarterback, Devin Leary, but they did, as Wake Forest just plummets. I mean, you'd think after that shootout with Clemson they may win out, but they did not. And finally on to the predictions of this week. And as I alluded to earlier, Arkansas and LSU. Now, as of right now, the college football playoff rankings have not came out, so LSU will be higher than this. Maybe should have waited, but I usually do these on Mondays, but it won't change who I think is going to win, and that's LSU. As Arkansas, I could see them winning this game, but just I feel like they've lost a lot of confidence losing that game to Liberty, and just LSU is on fire. Now, this would be the most Brian Kelly thing ever, to make everyone think that he has really turned LSU into a contender in year 1, to lose in Arkansas, like it's Notre Dame all over again, losing chances at winning it all. But I don't think that'll happen. I think he's done a great job in year 1 with LSU. That'll continue. And Illinois, I'm sad about this for Illinois, because I thought they were one of the underdog teams like TCU is. I root for TCU to win out. And they lost to Michigan State. That's not a bad thing in itself usually, but Michigan State was 3-5 and had so many suspended players for that fight with Michigan in a tunnel. But, I'm looking at this game thinking, Purdue does play better as the spoiler makers than the favorite. And Illinois did kind of lose this game. I'm gonna go Purdue with the narrative here that's been built on this season of how I'm gonna butcher his name, Brett Bielema or whatever, the coach of Illinois. I think he's been notorious maybe previously with having a good October and then kind of falling off. I don't know. That's what I've heard from. This isn't of my own knowledge, but I've heard that. But Illinois wins this game. They've proven me wrong. And also Purdue proves me wrong with their spoiler makers persona, where they win as an underdog and lose as the favorite. I think that continues. And I was really high on Oklahoma State, and they've dropped 2 in a row now. They didn't get 48-0 shutout against Kansas, but I still think they win. Iowa State, they finally ended their 4-game losing streak, or 5-game losing streak, I think, against West Virginia, but still not going to be good enough to beat Oklahoma State. I really don't think Oklahoma State can lose this game. There's no way they lose 3 in a row. And we get to the game that I thought was the next week's game, 4 weeks running, and it's finally here. Alabama and Ole Miss. Ole Miss very well could be ranked higher than Alabama by tomorrow. And I don't think I can bet on the Rebels. Mostly so, I would love to be proven wrong here. Fully kill Alabama's playoff hopes. It's pretty much dead now, but fully kill it. And if Ole Miss has a slight chance, this would go a long way in getting them there. If they win this, they do have the outdoor chance at the SEC championship game. Alabama loses and LSU can lose to Arkansas. Maybe you have the outdoor chance. But I do not think Alabama's going to lose 2 games in a row. I just don't see it happening. But the struggle on the road, though, I'm not changing it. And College Game Day should have win here. Because UCF and Tulane, 2 of the better mid-majors in conference. It's either Conference USA or I don't know. I get it confused with basketball because there's more conferences in basketball. But I'm going to go with the Green Wave. It's not picking it. I really like Tulane. They're probably going to get the New Year's 6 bowl bid for a mid-major. But UCF, don't sleep on them, though. They're still a good team. And this game will be watched by probably nobody outside of the fan bases, except Iowa's actually had okay offense the past couple weeks, or at least last week they did. And Wisconsin is just... I'm going to go with Iowa because their defense is good. I mean, if their offense can do anything, they could probably win this game. This is probably going to be a very sloppy game. I see no scenario where this is a shootout because that would mean Iowa would have to score points. So, yeah. Kansas State and Baylor. I mean, I hate this because Kansas State, for the fact that if they're inconsistent, they'll play good this week, and Baylor still don't think they're insanely good. But K-State, I just feel like they win when I bet against them, and when I bet with them, they lose. So let's go with them here, I guess. And then we got America's team, kind of. It still is kind of Kansas. And it was Syracuse until they fell off a cliff. TCU and Texas. Hope TCU wins. If Texas wins this, they're kind of the villain in this story, to me anyways, because I want to see TCU make the playoffs going undefeated. I mean, I know them both in Tennessee started unranked this season, but TCU did not have this high. They were not expected to, they definitely weren't expected to be a playoff contender. And here they are in their arguably biggest game of the season. And I hope they'll answer the bell again. And we got North Carolina and Wake Forest. I cannot pick Wake Forest to win after their past few performances. I really can't. As North Carolina has looked suspects, their record does not really tell the whole story. They have had a lot of close games, I think. They almost lost to Duke. They almost lost to Miami. Yeesh. That App State game is still one of the best games of the year, though. And yeah, I just think North Carolina wins. I do have a grudge against their quarterback for the fact that his brother hit a game-winning shot in Kentucky about 5 years ago. But North Carolina, they'll lose to NC State, I'll say. But that's outrageous. They have that good of a record, and they'll definitely go up. But I'd be kind of upset if I go 11-1 and don't have a chance. And the final game here is obviously the game of the week. San Diego State and San Jose State, and I'm just going to go with the Aztecs here just because, yeah. And how many points TCU in Texas? I don't know. I was way off on the points last week. I'm just going to go with 65. There's no logic to it. I just go with it. And that'll be college football predictions week 11 done. As I know I said that I was going to do maybe a Kentucky basketball predictions thing, but I've decided against it. That would be probably longer than this, going through every game this season. And plus, I mean, some of the cupcake games, like I was also going to do a preview of the Howard game in the time I'm making this, about an hour from now. But that would be kind of useless. I know nothing about Howard. And I don't know much about us yet. Haven't played a regular season game. But I'm going to say this. I am probably tomorrow going to make a video about, it'll be up tomorrow too. I'm going to recap every top 25 game that happened today, as Baylor's already won today. They destroyed Missouri Valley State, I think is their name. But yeah, I think that would be a good thing to do. And also probably Memphis and Vandy. I don't know if they play tonight, but they play this week. But yeah, that would be a good way for me to talk about some college basketball without having an over lengthy video.